How was your own education?
Fantastic, as you can see. It's top notch, you know.
Where did your interest in the subject matter come from?
No, actually, seriously, my education is mottled, actually, truthfully. I mean, it's where this mentorship thing really matters. I mean, it matters a lot to me. I mean, I grew up in Liverpool, in England, and I wrote about this in a book I did recently, but because I was asked to. But and I'm one of a big family. There's 7 kids in our family, and it was a big working class area of Liverpool, right next to Everton's football ground. And you know, the ambition that most parents had, most fathers anyway around there, was that one of their sons would be in the local football team. And when I was the youngest, when I was 4, I was the youngest. I had 2 brothers subsequently, but when I was 4, I was the youngest. And I apparently was really talented at football. My dad used to take me, he'd been an amateur footballer himself, actually semi-professional footballer. He used to take me to the park and we'd kick the ball around, and he said I was really fast, you know, and fit and strong. And he used to say to me, Mum, he's going to be the footballer in the family. And so this was 1954, and but then there were these polio epidemics, you know, that spread throughout the country, actually globally, and I got it. So I went at the age of 4, you know, from being this fit, kind of able, strong kid to being completely paralysed. I was in hospital for a year, and it happens quickly. You know, it happens overnight, because polio is not a muscular disease; it's a neural disease. So essentially, it knocks your nerves out, so the nerves don't communicate with the muscles. It's like a fire in a fuse box, you know, it's the way it's put. And according to which nerves it gets, those muscles stop functioning. So if it affects the nerves that control your chest muscles, you literally can't breathe, and unless you get put in an iron lung or a ventilator, you're dead. It's why some people did die of it. Anyway, it affected me. I mean, I came out 8 months later, and it had affected my legs. It hadn't affected my arms or anything else. But I came out of hospital. I was on 2 braces, or calipers as we call them in England. I had crutches, a wheelchair, and long curly hair, and a lisp. I was tremendously cute, I have to say, really. I mean, people spontaneously gave me money in the street. I mean, I was irresistible. But I went into special education. They weren't very good at euphemisms in the 50s. It was called the Margaret Bevan School for the Physically Handicapped. And I was there for 5 years, just getting on. I remember it vividly. I mean, there were people in my class who had cerebral palsy, there were blind kids who were deaf, kids with heart disease, a lot of polio people. It didn't bother any of us. I mean, because we weren't interested in what other people couldn't do, we were interested in what they could do. If they were interesting or not, and if they were funny. And that actually was I suppose if I were ever to psychologize any of this, it probably played in somewhere. It wasn't conscious, but somewhere. I remember being surrounded by people who I knew were smart and interesting. But on the whole, the system simply grouped them by their disability, not by what they could do, but what they couldn't do.